Good morning and welcome to another edition of Wealth Building Wednesday. Wealth Building Wednesday is an opportunity for us to gather every single Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, just until 10:30. So just 30 minutes of us sharing some great information from experts across the region and from across the country. Wealth Building Wednesday is produced by TRHT Selma. TRHT stands for Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation. We are an initiative comprised of two nonprofit organizations based here in the historic city of Selma, Alabama. That is the Black Belt Community Foundation and the Selma Center for Nonviolence. We are excited every Wednesday to have an amazing guest to share opportunities and information with us. Again, every single Wednesday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And you may also tune in and hear the audio of this very same broadcast on our media partner, WBFZ 105.3 at 1:30 on the same day. So if you just happen not to be able to see the entirety of today's video, you can always log back on and check it out, or you can listen to the audio on WBFZ 105.3 FM on your radio dial. I am your host, Miss Lydia Chapman, and it is a delight and a pleasure to welcome Mrs. Andrea Rogers Mosley to the stage, to the show. Listen to Wealth Building Wednesday. This Wednesday, Mrs. Mosley is an expert in her field. She has served as the director for the SBDC and PTAC. Listen. And we're going to break down what all those letters mean. But she is stationed at the historic Alabama State University, at the Alabama State University. Yes, she's in Montgomery, Alabama, but she's sharing this information with us, and you can use it wherever you are. You can access what she's talking about wherever you are. So welcome, 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 Mrs. Mosley. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you, Lydia, so much for the introduction. And I'm just excited about being here with your listening and viewing audience and ready to share some information with them to help their businesses with surviving and thriving.
Yes, absolutely. Two key words. We want to get to surviving and get beyond surviving to thrive, y'all. We want to have thriving small businesses. So in your intro, I did talk about these letters, right, that come behind your name, and they are a part of what you do for small businesses across this state, and in particular the river region. So I want you to, if you don't mind, share with folks, what is the SBDC? What is a Small Business Development Center, and why are these centers necessary?
Yes, so the SBDC is a part of a network across the state of Alabama. It's 10 centers. We're located in starting with Alabama State University. We're at Auburn University, Troy University, and every one of the major colleges with University of Alabama, South Alabama, Tuscaloosa, West, North, and at Huntsville. And they were also located in the Birmingham area, which is in the Innovation Center. Our centers, we're funded by the U.S. Small Business Administration. And so it's been in existence since 1979. As a matter of fact, ASU Small Business Development Center is one of the only currently SBDC in the state of Alabama. And we're part of a group of about 16 HBCUs across the country. No matter where you are, Alabama, we serve the whole county. So those number of schools that I serve, so we serve all 67 counties. Okay. But if you're a resident in another state, we are part of 1,000 centers across the U.S. And each one of us, and what we do is, no matter what stage that you're in your business, you have an idea, just ready to start. In the conception stage, we help you working with your business from the conception all the way to, like we like to say, from the cradle to the grave. Mm-hmm. And so that means that if you are starting, purchasing, looking to grow or to scale your business, if you're in a transition stage, ready to just exit out and do the harvesting out of your business, those are the things that we support you with. Because we're funded by this USSBA, All of the service that we offer, and this is so important to you, is no cost services. And
Yes.
so the other component that's with us, and I'll talk about the PTAC in just a moment, but
Mm-hmm.
one of the fortes that we have with the SBDC and
Mm-hmm.
the services, and I think is the number of services of educational and training that we offer you. And
Okay.
again, the magic key here is to
It's free.
SBDCs is that it's no cost services to you.
Yeah.
Our procurement technical center,
Mm-hmm.
with it. That's and that's what PTAC stands for, procurement
Yes.
technical. That services offers to for any business that is 2 years at least existing in your business that's ready to do business with the federal government, city, state, or county. The SBDC works with you to navigate the processes, and it is an extreme process to learning to how to sell your services. And here's the thing, the federal government and government, they buy everything that you can think of, from toilet paper, light bulbs, to Candyland games,
Oh,
accounting
wow.
services, IT services. I mean, just everything. No one makes a logo that you see that's on the uniform of a United States Marine. That logo that's on there, that patch, someone made that, and that's a small business that
Mm-hmm.
they've contracted with. So those are the things to think about, and that's what we're help you able to do, is to navigate. And as a PTAC services, one of the great things with it is that once you sign up with us and go through our program,
Mm-hmm.
we have a bid matching service, and this is
Oh,
key.
wow.
When you're registered in, that bid match service will send out opportunities to you
Okay.
on a weekly basis as to, based on your NACE codes, or what we call the North American Industry Classification Codes. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just a 6-digit code that is from every product and services that the federal government has put a number to.
Okay.
But when we help you identify what those are too, but when you're registered in that system, your search is narrowed at that point. Those opportunities will come to you. Now, you do have to do work along with the SBDC on the business development side, is work that you have to do, because we don't do your work for you. We're not the employee, but we help you to navigate that process.
So now I really want folks who are tuned in and listening to understand that everything that you're describing
Mhm.
is free. You said it twice, but I want folks to be clear that these are absolutely at no cost, available to people regardless of where you are in your small business planning and development stages. So what she just said to us is like, hey, we're here to help. We can help you from the cradle, which means you have this idea that you're trying to nurture, right? If you're in the midst of trying to identify funding sources, if you need help with your business plan and want to put that thing on paper, which is important, right? Or if you're well into your business and you're looking to contract with governmental organizations, whether it is local, state, or federal governmental organizations, and all of this is free. Access is everything, and what better cost than free to help you build your business forward. So now, from the many services that you offer, and I know that you in particular, you, and let me just say this, she is no stranger to Wealth Building Wednesday. Mrs. Mosley actually was in Selma, and we'll continue to have her back. She was a part of our Dream Big Business Small Business Boot Camp, and she came in, and when I tell you, she knew everybody in the room. Folks from SBA were there. She knew everybody in the room. The people from the Secretary of State's office. So we're excited to have such a valuable resource as yourself, a person who has tapped in on every angle of small business, and can really, really help people hone in on, and you're not afraid to tap other people to say, well, that's not my wheelhouse, but this is the person, right? You are willing to make those referrals so that folks have the very best level of information that's out there.
Mhm.
So I do want to thank you for that. So she is not a stranger to Wealth Building Wednesday, but this is her first live broadcast with us. So we are delighted to have her here. Um, from the many services that you offer, like what seems to be the most popular thing? Like when people pick up that phone and say, hey, what are they asking for?
Yeah. So Most individuals that's coming in is because they're in that startup stage or and they're in the growth stage. So either way is I need help with my business plan. So the forte for the SBDCs across the country is that we're able to offer that one-on-one
Okay.
advisement with that client. So that means sitting down, and I'm not just giving you the tips and the things of, and then letting you go on your way. That one-on-one means that we're setting appointments and then we're working with you throughout the process of building that business plan. Or if you are seeking for financials, we have a capital to access team that will help you that individuals with putting together their global analysis and making them presentable as they get ready to go to the banker or for the lender to look for the loan. So those are like the two really thing that a lot of folks come in with us. And the business plan, if you sit down with any SBDC advisor,
Mhm.
we don't care what stage that you're at. That's the first thing that we're going to talk to you about, that business plan, because it is the thing that helps you to know where you are, where you want to go,
Mhm.
how you're going to get there, and how much is it going to cost you. Because no matter what business that you're in, and I get folks coming through my door that says that, oh, I don't have, it's not going to cost me anything to launch this business. And you'd be surprised. I'm looking at your face like, what? And
Right. Like,
that's
no,
what
it's
they
going
tell
to
me.
cost money.
It's no cost. And if they don't plan this business out and look at and estimate their costs from the beginning stages and what type of costs that they are going to face throughout a cycle of this business, from that launch phase, startup
Mhm.
phase, launch phase, and then the actual 3 and 4 months of into this business. And if they don't project their cash flow out, typically what happens to a business is they run out of cash
Mhm.
because it was not projected from the beginning stages of the startup of the business. And now they're at this stage of, I've invested all I have.
Mhm.
There's nothing else I can do. I was reading something recently that says that for a typical micro business, the startup cost is about $3,000. Um, no, in most businesses for micros businesses,
Mhm.
um, which is true. When I sit down and work with a client and start working them through their startup costs and their financials, they see that it really, I can launch this business with about $3,000
Oh, wow.
with it.
Okay.
And the question is, where does that money come from? Unfortunately, it's not. It comes from the skin in the game.
Mhm.
It's their business, their baby, they're nurturing it, they're growing it, they're birthing it. So it literally comes from that individual that's out their pocket. They ask for the question as to whether or not is there a grant for a new startup business. There's some programs out there that has some funding. Some city, state, counties, and local agencies does these unique things and innovative things to inject money into, but it's far and rare and also challenging to get it because it's competitive. It's only a small pot of money. Maybe one you'll see populated. It's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 people have gotten a grant. So if you're looking for
Mhm.
that, that is not going to be the area that you're, and it does not sustain your business.
Right.
So that's another thing why I tell people don't even try to, look for it if it's there, get it, but don't put that into your wheelhouse of saying that this is going to be how my business is going to function because it will not sustain the business.
I am so glad that you mentioned that. Just last week, I was in a economic development conference, and a banker said that.
Mhm.
She implored folks who are looking to start businesses to say, "Hey, it's great if it's out there, but understand that this even if you get that seed money,
Mhm. Yeah.
that you're going to have to create, you're going to have a plan and work that plan so that you can create the revenue necessary to sustain that. Because if it's a startup grant or if
Mhm.
it's a startup fund, that's it. Like,
That's right.
it's not a like, oh, okay, well, we started, like, can we get the a second round? Like, there is no second round for that. And and it makes, yeah, because it's startup, now that you're started,
Mhm.
they're it's hands off. Like, okay, this is not an investor or an
Mhm.
investment for these folks.
Right.
They're investing just in the beginning stages. So
Mhm.
having that business plan in place is super
Yeah.
important. and being able to work that plan. So now, what are some of the most significant challenges that you faced in your years of experience? Because I know you've been working with folks as they've started businesses for years now. So, like, what are
Mhm.
some of the most significant challenges that you've seen people face as they look to start a business?
Yeah. So again, it's going back to capital, to
Mm-hmm.
launch the business. Even when I said that that minimum amount is about, $3,000 for a micro business to start. Typically, there is not the funding base that's there. For individuals that's trying to start a business, there's no savings that's there. So the challenges really for me is like from the personal end, personal money, that net worth that they individually has to inject into their business. And then it's some personal habits of that goes along with this. And I'll say that, looking at a business that is trying to go to get a bank from the loan, your personal credit,
Mm-hmm.
your personal character,
Mm-hmm.
your capacity, all of those things are going to be considered before you're able to get a loan. And if those things from the personal side of you, um, management, financial management, credit management, if there's a challenge in that or in that area from personal, that's going to transition into that business.
Wow.
And we see it.
Yeah. And so when I hear you say funding being a challenge, and then we hear the $3,000 mark, um, one of the things that I seriously have been reflecting on as you're speaking about that is prioritization,
Yes.
right? And
Mhm.
then you just talked about the spending habits and our personal financial management being very important, as they can carry over or spill over into what happens in our business. And so I'm just wondering how many dreams could be birthed if we prioritized, the starting of the small business, and that way in January, February, March, when people are getting income tax refunds,
Yes.
right? If we don't go blow the bank for Christmas, right? That we're not trying to catch bills up, but rather
Mhm.
investing in ourselves and are able to free that money up so that if there are refunds being issued,
Mhm.
there are folks, I've heard of people getting eight, nine, $10,000 back
Absolutely.
from the IRS. Who, child?
Mhm.
Listen, I wish I knew how to do that, but
Yeah. We had people have come in even with that, and utilize the money smart in a way, to
yes.
reinvest back into to their business and also. But if the habits are there and it has not been addressed, that money, as quick as it come in, goes right out the door. So, man, it would be awesome to have the programs that do the financial literacy. And one of the things that we offer with the SBDC is we do a financial literacy with the small businesses. So we take them through a 4-week session, and we partner with BBVA, is now PNC Bank, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the bankers through their programs and that they have, they partner with institutions just like us. And
Okay.
then what we do is financial literacy. So it's like, how financial, understanding your financial statements.
Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about that, we also reflect back on the personal financials as well as the
Okay.
business.
Okay.
Understanding how businesses use credit, understanding how business obtain credit, and then also naturally the business plan itself. So that's a 4 series sessions that we do. I did that for about almost 3 years, just back to back running those courses. And there's been like 6 sessions throughout the course of the year. I still add those in now because I don't have the funding that I had with PNC Bank,
Mm-hmm.
but we still partner and with the other bankers that's in the area, local bankers, and we still do this training because it's so important to get small businesses to really understand their financial positions, and again,
Yes.
personally, and then as well as with their business.
And
So
being able
financial
to use
literacy.
it, you being able to use that business credit as opposed to personal credit, but like you said, building that those habits
Yeah.
personally so that so that you can
But
build
let
it.
me just say that because see, people think that just because I got the business credit now,
Mm-hmm.
that my personal credit, I've built some and it, is grown and they can see that you are the principal agent of your company. So regardless of that, they're still going to pull your personal credit.
Right.
It's still going to be reflected and considered when the loan is being considered from an underwriter.
Thank you so much for reinforcing that.
Mhm.
We just had a conversation last week with a guest who talked about that, that even that at the beginning stages, like you said, that's where the banks are going to look. They're going to look to your personal character, your personal credit, to know whether they can extend this offer to you, or whatever loan you're seeking or product that you're seeking from them.
Yeah.
So thank you for saying that. So throughout, being throughout the life of your business, your personal credit is something that can be helpful to you or harmful if we
Mhm.
develop bad habits or don't break those bad habits that
Mhm.
might have cost us in the past. So now I want to ask you about, because I know that there's a program that you are excited about getting people started on their journey to being successful with digital marketing. Wanted to ask you, what role does a small business's digital footprint actually play in its success? And when I say digital footprint, we're talking about things like website, social media presence,
Mhm.
even how you're listed as far as your email address. Like, what role does a digital footprint play in a business's success?
So COVID showed
Hmm.
us tremendously. I don't care what business you were in, if you were a nonprofit organization, if you were a church,
Hmm.
faith-based organization, small business, COVID showed us that in the midst of a shutdown, we had no way, if without the social media, without the website, there was no way of communicating with our constituent, our customers, our base of people. We couldn't sell our goods because it was shut down.
Hmm.
So the importance of it speaks for itself during this environment that we're still currently in, where folks are still skeptical and still have not come out fully with purchasing, buying, wanting to go into the stores. And then now, because COVID shows that we can function and we can work and we can sell, we can host these trainings, what we're doing right now, live engagement. If they're not in this century, and in digital world, the business is going to not be able to function as well as it needs to be. So yes, that digital footprint, that digital presence, it is when we talked about survive and thrive. That is how a lot of businesses was able to survive during COVID-19, and it is prevalent today as it was yesterday. But we weren't prepared
Right.
when we
Hmm.
were not prepared, and people were trying to identify who is that person that can help me with my website. Was about $2,000
Hmm.
again for the
Right.
individual to build that website for you. That's on a minimum basis.
Hmm.
However, there's tools that these website companies have that you to do it yourself, the
Hmm.
very basic things that you can have that can support your businesses. And one of the tools that we have that we're working with currently right now that I
Yeah.
am so excited about is our GoDaddy digital marketing program.
Okay.
So man, but I tell you, I was like, when they first came to me, I was like, man, this is going to be another one of those little sales pitchy things. Because I don't, when people come to me offering services and resources with my clients, we
Hmm.
vet them to make sure that this is not about the sale. This
Yeah.
is about ensuring that they're getting resources that's going to support their business. So there's a number of folks that I won't even engage. I turn them
Yeah.
down when they come to me
All
because
right.
it's not going to benefit my clients who I know who are those micro entrepreneurs who do not have has too many overhead in some situation and not enough money to support
Hmm.
in areas to for certain things. So this digital marketing class, what it offers is the experience for the businesses to learn how to for evaluating their brands, designing their websites, creating site content, helping them with the search engine optimization, developing and strengthening their media, their presence online, so that they can increase their customer volume,
Hmm.
sales, and increase their revenue. So, but it puts them in charge of their website. So my previous company, what I used to do before SBDC, was developing websites.
Okay.
And one of the things
I
is
didn't
that
know that.
yeah, that was
Oh wow. Okay.
so the client base that will
Hmm.
come to me, you'll develop it, and one of the things is like, yeah, I've developed this website, and they don't want to pay the maintenance costs for it, and then the
Hmm.
website now is down because they
Hmm.
can't, continue it on. And then in the process of doing it, I would work with other folks, and I would hear them talk about people who were maintaining and doing a website. They will hold it hostage. So if something went wrong or they couldn't pay, they had no website. They could
Oh
not get back
wow.
to it because they owned it, the
The
consultant.
company. Yeah.
So this training would put them at the ownership of their own website. Not only that, and all of those things I talked about before, it helps them with understanding, building out. They literally designed their own website. They can use that a template base or they can use WordPress. This
Okay.
is for small businesses as
Mhm.
well as for nonprofit organizations. The cost for this, 2 years, absolutely no cost to you. It's only time. Time means that from these are on Thursdays from 6 weeks, 5:30 to 8:30. You'll come into a Zoom virtual setting. We'll walk you through the process. It's the first portion is learning, is teaching you, is showing you the things that you would know for your business as far as how to look at the analysis of your website, tracking the performances of your website, all of those things that you really don't get that somebody else is doing for you, but putting you in a seat of your understanding how is that website impacting your business. So no cost. 6 week, 5:30, 8:30 on a Thursday. And then on Tuesdays, we do have a lab that's optional, but the lab is for the content creation that actually walk you through building the website.
Wow. So that's a lot. And again, everything that you're describing is absolutely free, free of charge. And
Yes.
you get the program offers 2 years free web hosting, the domain name, business email, and online technical support. So this is an extraordinary opportunity. The very first class starts on October 6th.
October the 6th, and it goes to November the 10th. Now, this is our last cohort. We've already
No.
done 5 of these already. We're
Okay.
4 of these already. So this is the 5th cohort. And
Okay.
so the next one to start, this is not done. So the next one to start next year
Okay.
in January. But ongoing throughout GoDaddy, we're going to be doing some individual sessions so that even though if you have an account with GoDaddy, you still can be in this program. So just for instance, if I paid for my year for GoDaddy this year, you're still going to get the 2 years for free,
Oh wow.
that they'll still offer you. So I just a person just launch with GoDaddy or have a GoDaddy domain name.
Hmm.
This program you still can do. So don't not say that I already got the account. What we're doing is putting you in the driver's seats
Hmm.
for your online presence to help you to better and strengthen that online presence. So regardless, and even if you are with Wix,
Hmm.
Network Solutions, or whomever that is,
Hmm.
this program, you can still go through it because this is not about selling GoDaddy. This is about helping you understand and helping you to build your presence online.
Now this is a really great opportunity because, and I want to go back to something we talked about before we went live.
Mhm,
If I'm a small business owner, and I'm interested in, let's just say, getting some government contracts,
mhm. Yes.
what role does having a website play in my ability to even to jump into the pool of vendors that the government is willing to contract with?
Awesome. I'm glad you brought that back up again because I think that so when we work with the small businesses and we're taking them through the contracting, navigating the process, one
Yes.
of the things is that we help them with building their capability statement. And that capability statement is a little bit differently from a flyer or a brochure. It
Hmm.
has components on it that the federal government needs when they look at who you are. So it decides your core competencies. It shows your differentiators. When you build that, there is a place that is housed. So when you register in the government portals for contracting opportunities, they're going to look at who you are professionally, and they see that through your website. So your website will house your NACE codes. So that's the North American Industry Classification codes. That says to you, for a 6-digit code, says to federal government, that is a code that they buy from that particular product. So it's not listed by your company name in the system, which you're there in the company name, but it's listed when I look for you or try to find you, it's going to be by your NACE codes. So your website, if I'm a federal agency procurement person that's looking to buy, I first go through my database, I find you, then I'm going to look at your website, and then I learn more about your company, and it shows your professionalism in your website.
Mm-hmm.
So when that digital footprint, that presence, is to who's looking at you, not only your clients, your customers. And guess what? If you get the federal government contract or state government, those are your clients, your customers. So the
Yes.
same thing, they're looking to you for that professionalism before I engage in you to buy your services.
So you heard it here, small business owners, if you have not yet established yourself, and it does not have to be an elaborate website. This can be a landing page with the information that Mrs. Mosley is describing. This is your opportunity at no cost. In fact, they're giving you things in order to reward you for your participation in the GoDaddy program that is available. It is a digital marketing class
Yes.
held on Zoom. So you don't even have to be present. You don't have to drive to Montgomery to get this information or this opportunity. On Zoom, live on Zoom, starting Thursday, October 6th, running through November 10th, 5:30 to 8:30. So that's just 3 hours. Now,
That's
y'all,
it.
we spent 3 hours watching mindless entertainment on television, reality shows, and all kinds of stuff. We spent 3 hours watching the news and who's jumping over walls and fighting back and don't want to vote and want to vote. Anyway, we spend 3 hours doing all sorts of stuff. Why not spend 3 hours once a week for 6 weeks? And that will get you 2 years, not just one, but 2 years of free online presence, your domain name, your business email, your website. You are going to be put, as Mrs. Mosley said, in the driver's seat of your website.
Mhm.
And that is so important because when other people create your website, it puts them in the driver's seat because
Mhm.
that means that if your fees are not paid, and if your fees are not paid on time, that they, because that's technically work that they created, that this is something that you can have at no cost and you're going to learn how to do it all. So how do people get signed up, and is there a deadline for signing up for this program?
Yes, so it's still open right now. And if
Okay.
they go to
Mhm.
asbdc.org, again, that's asbdc.org, and then go to workshop trainings, not only will they see this particular workshop, they'll see all of the workshops from our network that we're offered throughout the year. So they will find things that's related to taxes, for
Mm.
the year,
Okay.
financial statements. Go to that website. The
Okay.
deadline for this one is going to be on the 3rd. Um, and I have to close it off because there's a number of folks that's already registered. Typically, a cohort is about 25 people. We
Okay.
allow up to 75 people to register
Oh, wow.
for our cohort. And
Okay.
because we're able to Zoom online, we can
Mhm.
bring more people into the room.
Okay.
These are recorded sessions, but it's only recorded for the cohort alumni. So even if they miss a session,
Okay.
they will still be able to come back and review those sessions too. So we understand life is what I'm saying. We want
Yes.
you to register, but we understand life that you can't make every single one of those. Sign up for this. It's 344 people have already gone through.
Okay.
Uh, they're excited about it. I'm excited because I've got to see some of the websites that's already being built.
Mm.
Very proud of them as to what they've done. And then also the ongoing technical assistance that's
Mhm.
throughout as a life of a cohort. And then GoDaddy is constantly offering various different discounts
Okay.
throughout that they've sent to us to offer to the alumni on various other products that they have. And then after the 2 years, it doesn't cut off there. There's 60% off is what they are offering all the alumni that go through this program.
Wow.
Yeah. So reducing
So,
your overhead all the way through with your
yes. So this is an extraordinary opportunity. So if you are watching live, please make sure that you're sharing this information. If you feel like this is not applicable information for you and your small business, please share this with someone you know. Okay, if you are tuned in and listening on our media partner on WBFZ 105.3, then let me say it again, the web address that you can go to. So you got to go online. Okay, this is going to be on Zoom. So if you don't like computers, you're not going to like this. But this is an opportunity for us to grow our businesses forward. So www.asbdc.org.
Okay.
And
And
you're going
Lydia,
to,
let me just also mention to them too
yes,
that not only can they register for this course, but they
yes.
can also register on that same website
Mhm.
for one-on-one counseling with one of our advisors. That's no cost.
Awesome.
Same website.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, listen, this is great information. This is a great resource. Mrs. Mosley and her team at Alabama State, through the Small Business Development Center and the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, all again on the campus of Alabama State University. We are excited to share this information because they offer what they do as a service to the community. This is an opportunity for small business owners, no matter where you are in the process, whether you just came up with the idea last night, look, you were in the shower this morning and decided to tune in to Wealth Building Wednesday, like, oh, I have a great idea. Well, you can call the team. Mrs. Mosley's team is at your service, and it is going to be wonderful and super exciting to see so many people be successful as a result of the services that you're providing, you and your colleagues around the state and across the country. Because if you're just now tuning in, then you may not realize that SBDCs are not unique to Montgomery or Alabama State University, but there are thousands of them located across the country. And we have a wonderful team of folks all across the state at different locations on most university campuses that can offer these services. So what you're going to look for, though, is you're going to log on. So we're going to use the internet, and we're going to log on to asbdc.org, and you can sign up for classes. Many of them are done virtually, so you don't even have to worry about having to pack up kids, or make sure that things are in place at home, because you can participate just simply by logging on. So if someone wanted to give you a call as we begin to wrap up, wanted to ask you to give us a number that folks can call to get more information.
Yes. So if they call 334 229 4138. Again, that's 334 229 4138. That is our number to our main office, SBDC at ASU, that they can connect with us. And then for those who are not at the ASU, for ASU, because I serve 8 counties.
Yes.
So for just our 800 number, you can dial 877 825 7232. And again, that's 877 825 7232. And then that'll get you to our main network office. And then they can tell you as to who would be your advisors for the county that you serve. Because my counties are Montgomery, Autauga, Elmore, Lowndes, Macon, and Bullock counties. Those are my counties that I serve. And I dabble over into Selma because I just love Lydia so much.
Yes, absolutely. So if you're driving and listening in, then we want to make sure that you are driving safely. And if you miss those telephone numbers, you can log back in at any point and check out the telephone numbers. And in fact, a lot of information I've just gone ahead and put into the comment section. So if you want to learn more about all of the services that Mrs. Mosley and her team have available at the SBDC and the PTAC over at Alabama State and around the state, you can give them a call at 334-229-4138. And no matter where you are in the state. So let's just say that you're not in one of those counties that is serviced by the SBDC at Alabama State, then you can give the SBDC network a call. And that number is 1-877-8 825-7232. When you dial that number, they'll connect you with the office that serves your county. So no matter where you are in the state of Alabama, this assistance is available to you.
And let me just say one other
Yes,
thing. If they're
absolutely.
not, because I know you got listening audience that's in neighboring states and maybe across
Yes.
the country.
Mhm,
If they go to Americas with an S,
mhm.
americassbdc.org, then they will find the centers that's across the country.
Okay. I am putting that in the chat as well. americassbdc.org is how
Mhm.
you find the SBDC in your neighborhood or in your that services your community no matter where you are in the United States of America. So we are super excited to
Mhm.
be a part of sharing this information. SBDCs are not brand new. They've been around, as Mrs. Mosley said earlier, for over 29 years, and we're
40.
40 years. No, so the one in Alabama State is 29 years.
Yeah, 40. We're one of the first
Oh,
25 of the SBDCs that started in 1980.
wow. So
Yeah.
this is great. This is
Mhm.
amazing, y'all. So if this is your first time hearing about it, look, the cat is out of the bag. It is not a secret, and we want to make sure that you take advantage of these services. Again, americassbdc.org, no matter where you are in the US. If you're in the state of Alabama and you're looking for services to help your small business grow, then you want to call 1-877-825-7232. And if you happen to be in one of those counties, add Dallas County. Listen, serviced by the SBDC and the PTAC at Alabama State, you can give them a call at 334-229-4138. Mrs. Mosley, it has been an absolute pleasure. We will continue to share the information leading into the application deadline, October 3rd, but don't wait until the 3rd to register. If you hear this information now and you know it is relevant to you, get registered. Let them know that you want to participate because this is this is an opportunity unlike any other. And it's free. It's free. Yeah. So thank you so much, Mrs. Mosley,
Thank
for joining
you.
us. Absolutely. And we look forward to having you as a guest again on Wealth Building Wednesday and to hosting you for another boot camp this fall. So we are excited about all of the things that are available. Listen, at no cost, y'all. It's
Mhm.
free. Yes.
Thank you so much, Lydia. We truly appreciate being on this show and looking forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, ma'am. All righty, y'all. It's been a great time. We have, listen, time far spent. We are well over our 30 minutes, but this was great information. This was a great opportunity to connect with an expert located in our region. So every single Wednesday, join us right here, 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time for Wealth Building Wednesday. And until next Wednesday, honey, you better get out there and start building your wealth.